This cellar had been reinforced with steel girders to provide a shelter from the bombing, but the wartime concrete seemed to exude chilly damp. 2 blocks away, down Potsdamer Strasse, one of these shelters had for years provided Berlin with cultivated mushrooms until the health authorities condemned it. It was the carnival finale that had made the mess. Paper streamers, webbed tables still cluttered with wine bottles and glasses. There were balloons everywhere, some of them already wrinkled and shrinking, cardboard beer mats, torn receipts, drinks lists, and litter of all descriptions. No one was doing anything to clear it all up. There would be plenty of time in the morning to do that. The gates of Babylon didn't open until after dark. "Why don't you rehearse the new show in the daytime, Rudy?" I asked. No one called him Der Grosse to his face, not even me, and I'd known him almost all my life. His big nose twitched. "These bimbos work all day. That's why we go through the routines so long after my bedtime." It was a stern German voice, no matter how colloquial his English. His voice was low and hoarse, the result, no doubt, of his devotion to the Maduro leaf Havanas that were aged for at least 6 years before he'd put one to his lips. Work at what? He dismissed this question with a wave of his cigar. "They're all moonlighting for me. Why do you think they want to be paid in cash?" "They'll be tired tomorrow." "Yeah. You buy an icebox and the door falls off, you'll know why. One of these dolls went to sleep on the line, right?" "Right." I looked at the women with new interest. They were pretty, but none of them were really young. How could they work all day and half the night, too? The pianist shuffled quickly through his music and found the sheets required. His fingers found the melody. The dancers put on their smiles and went into the routine. Kleindorf blew smoke. No one knew his age. He must have been on the wrong side of 60, but that was about all he was on the wrong side of, for he always had a huge bundle of high-denomination paper money in his pocket and a beautiful woman at his beck and call. His suits, shirts, and shoes were the finest that Berlin outfitters could provide, and outside on the curb there was a magnificent old Maserati Ghibli with the 4.9-litre engine option. It was a connoisseur's car that he'd had completely rebuilt and kept in tune so that it could take him down the Autobahn to West Germany at 170 miles per hour. For years I'd been hinting that I would enjoy a chance to drive it, but the cunning old devil pretended not to understand. One persistent rumour said the Kleindorfs were Prussian aristocracy, that his grandfather, General Freiherr Rudolf von Kleindorf, had commanded one of the Kaiser's best divisions in the 1918 offensives, but I never heard Rudy make such claims. Der Grosse said his money came from car wash parlors in Encino, Southern California. Certainly not much of it could have come from this shabby Berlin dive. Only the most intrepid tourist ventured into a place of this kind, and unless they had money to burn, they were soon made to feel unwelcome. Some said Rudy kept the club going for his own amusement, but others guessed that he needed this place, not just to chat with his cronies, but because Rudy's back bar was one of the best listening points in the whole of this gossip-ridden city. Such men gravitated to Rudy, and he encouraged them, for his reputation as a man who knew what was going on gave him an importance that he seemed to need. Rudy's barman knew that he must provide free drinks for certain men and women, hotel doormen, private secretaries, telephone workers, detectives, military government officials, and sharp-eared waiters who worked in the city's private dining rooms. Even Berlin's police officials, notoriously reluctant to use paid informants, came to Rudy's bar when all else failed. How Babylon kept going was one of Berlin's many unsolved mysteries. Even on a gala night, alcohol sales didn't pay the rent. The sort of people who sat out front and watched the show were not big spenders. Their livers were not up to it. They were the geriatrics of Berlin's underworld, arthritic ex-burglars, incoherent conmen and palsied forgers, men whose time had long since passed. They arrived too early.